sure this mic is sensitive enough to have heard it though. But I heard it. I felt it too. We'll move over to this side for a better light source. Alright, I'm gonna put the camera where it normally goes, or where I put it recently. It's gonna be a little difficult because there's been stuff there, and this is not a super wide angle. I guess I'll maybe leave it where it was. There's just not as good a light on this side. But I think you can see. Can't tell. I mean, that was like I put my weight on the right side. Oh, you wouldn't have been able to see it. So off in this here, there was like lightning that shot up. It was very visible. And you have the GoPro going. just gonna back off a bit so that you can see, because it's doing more than just right over the middle here. It's like lightning is streaking pretty consistently from this side to this side. See, though again, I do have the GoPro going, so I should be able to sync these up. Once it really gets intense as far as the rain is concerned, I'll start heading inside. So today has been just a bit stressed. I have been just a bit stressed, and I don't think we were supposed to have, like, there was clearly activity in the area, but there was not a forecast for this kind of weather that I'm aware of. As far as, like, I think the more intense storm was supposed to come around 6 a.m. tomorrow. It's Thursday today, the 6th, I believe. And I don't believe we were supposed to have, at least as far as the forecast is concerned, this kind of activity. Until, like I said, 6 in the morning. You know, if it is 10 right now, which it is 10 right now, we weren't supposed to have really activity like this until like 6, I think. So, that being said, just a bit ago, someone did something. Like, I haven't had the least stressful day, but a little bit ago, someone did something that stressed me out to the point where I just, on social media, stopped following them, because it was, you know, they're clearly trying to get my attention, and then, like, do something which might get a reaction. Is that a nice reaction? And so I just said, like, you know, I left a comment earlier this morning, and it looked like they had already, from their pictures, made, like I've said before, where it's showing with pictures, like, similar things, or showing something in an image which is like trying to communicate a point. But our modern day world, you can pretend that you aren't communicating in that fashion. And anyway, so they did that, and then I left a comment on one of their pictures that they had posted in order to get my attention. And when I went back, it was deleted. And so I left a comment saying something like, yeah, I could have sworn I left a I could have sworn I left a comment here. And so I just decided to unfollow them, because it's the kind of thing where, like, look, if you're trying to get my attention to elicit a reaction out of me, I don't think you're a good person, right? Considering what I've been going through, and the whole, everything that I've been explaining in these videos and in the videos that I record on my computer. And so it just stressed me out unnecessarily, and all of a sudden like, you know, the thunderstorms start kicking up, which has been my point. It's like, yo, you don't have to engage with me. You could just not. You know what I mean? You don't need to get my attention to make me feel and try to make me feel bad, right? But which more than just this person's doing it, but this is someone that I know, like I've met in person, and I'm an acquaintance with them. And so it's a little different when you're acquainted with someone and they're doing this kind of stuff than when it's people that I don't really know other than, in my head and on social media. And so I feel like it requires someone who's pretty mean to be doing that kind of thing in person. You know what I mean? Or to be doing that kind of thing and you've actually met me and like you've seen me in my humanity, you know what I mean? And you're still willing to do this stuff, which is honestly just mean and demeaning and like I think is a violation of me as a person. But okay, so yeah. So thus, when I say I'm a little stressed, that would be why. I'll even say this. I'm still, somewhat stressed about, like, it looks to me like I'm being watched in a way that, like, no one would want to be watched. Like, my private life, my private digital reality, as far as, like, the private stuff on my computer, the photo gallery in my phone, just my entire private life. It's like I'm being broadcast almost like, it feels like the Truman Show or something. Like people are gang stalking me, which sounds intense as a term, but it's just like are viewing my digital footprint in a way that, most people wouldn't want their privacy violated like that. Right? There was really intense lightning over here too, so you saw what you saw, and then I'm sure that the other camera picked up that intense. It was like multiple lightnings. But my, when people are reacting to pictures in my iPhone photo gallery and like they're trying to subtly hint at they can see what's going on in my private, basically I've created a story on my phone, right? When people are trying to hint that they're doing that, because they are, it's mean. It's like abusive, I think, because I don't have agency in this. There's lightning over that way too. It's like my agency has been taken. Like I can interact with people. People are looking at me, right? But I have no control is what it feels like. And I don't know if, that comes later on or something. If I can prove that, I could pull lightning down from the sky or something. But, or, something supernatural to the point where it's obvious that, I don't know, kind of violating my humanity in this kind of way is pretty unacceptable to Yahweh. And so he would take personal action when I've directly called on him and invoked him in such a way, right? And that it's not just the storm activity, though this is an example that I can show where seemingly I can cooperate with Yahweh and point this out, and he'll, like, you know, agree with me by showing something supernaturally powerful, you know, his supernatural control over the natural world as creator of the world. So, yeah, it appears, and, like, you know, a good example is, like, I used some specific emojis in my post, right? And then I can see someone make a story right after my story, or, you know, somewhat a short time later, and they use specific emojis as well that I've just used that aren't, like, commonly used emojis. That's a subtle way where there's plausible deniability that they're not doing it, but the whole point is to, like, get me to recognize, like, yeah, like, you know, I'm trying to communicate with you, right? And it's just like, if you want to talk to me to my face, please, and let's reason this out, right? But this kind of whole thing where it's like trying to make me feel defenseless and bad and, like, overwhelmed by, you know, how could I take on everybody? You know what I mean? Well, I mean, Yahweh could do it, but it's just, it doesn't make me, it's like, why? It's dehumanizing. It's like you turn yourself into a hypocrite because everybody says they seem to like kindness, you know what I mean? And it's like a very unkind thing to do. And it seems like, you know, like I was saying, the Truman Show, where, you know, it's like the same thing is going on. That's some weird thunder. Like, the same thing appears to be going on with, like, celebrities. And I've brought this up before, like, okay, if I'm, whoa, that was really bright. If I'm communicating with you, like, you know, if you want to talk to me, talk to me. If something is blocking you from talking to me, use all your resources to fix it, because I think it's better for everybody, because Yahweh can make it everybody's problem. You know what I mean? If this is an example, if the, like, violent tornadoes running across the country aren't an obvious example. But I've brought up this person before, Alessandra Ambrosio. Very beautiful woman. It appears like she's trying to signal to me something, right? As a number of people are, but, like, you know, I think at this point I can prove from my private story to a number of posts where, okay, once or twice there's plausible deniability, but when I can point out a pattern of seemingly connected activity, right, where I post a thing and then there's, like, almost a response, right? You know, I mean, like, it's just appears to me like when it comes to a point where something clearly supernatural does happen, I'm going to point to that situation specifically and say that I want it remedied in a manner that I asked for, not like, hey, people are trying to exert over my life, make me feel, like I said, defenseless, caught out. mean, this, like I said, kind of popped up out of nowhere. It seems like an angry storm. You know what I mean? It seems like the type of storm 2,000 years ago people would be saying it was some kind of pissed off deity. You know what I mean? License plate say lost KO2? Is that what it said? The one on that car? I mean, again, it sounds like Yahweh's probably pretty pissed or something. Because at a certain point, I mean, come the fuck on. Come on, assholes. Like, seriously. Are you gonna pretend like this shit isn't happening? Because clearly, yes, you are. Again, how many years have I been trying to break this stupid fucking game people have been playing around me? I mean, very clearly, I keep pretty decent records. So, if it's not obvious now, it's probably going to get only more and more obvious, right? You think any of it goes away? I mean, come on, this is like some of the most insane lightning, like, that I've seen in a while. I mean, come on, man. I would be, you know, it seems pretty obvious to me. And look, I'm personally not the one who's afraid here. I feel like the one being justified here. So I'm standing out in the middle of the rainstorm next to stuff that could be struck by lightning, because I don't think I'm going to be struck by lightning. I think Yahweh's doing it for my benefit, not to scare me or to cause me problems. So it's pretty awe-inspiring, I'm going to be honest. I mean, that was some of the most insane thunder that I've maybe heard, and I have some crazy thunder on my channel, so that was nuts. And again, this is one of those storms that wasn't forecast, right? I mean, come on. And so this person who's like agitated me earlier, right? And it looks like, you know, there's an angry deity or something causing this, right? I haven't brought up any specific, I haven't said any name, right? I haven't said any name, but you think it bodes well for that person? Probably not. if this is the response that is almost immediate, right? I mean, I guess within a few hours. Like I'm saying, the storm had to get here, but this is not what was forecast. I'm gonna try to sync this up with the GoPro and OBS video so that there's multiple angles, because there's some of this lightning. I don't have a 360-degree camera on me. So, I mean, come on, that would just, there's a power flash with that one too. But like, this lightning is nuts. It literally is like an angry deity. That's how this would be explained. I would also say it's probably because it is, right? But yeah, it's because I have a little more sense than most people these days. Hopefully, I don't know. Might just be completely wrong about everything, huh? Hope you can pick up on that sarcasm. Hope you saw that. There's another, I mean, this lightning is nuts. I don't know how to describe it any other way currently. Alright, well, I'm pretty sure the other camera's getting it, like I said. So. But, like, I feel like this kind of thing is literally just Yahweh showing out because there, like, maybe a line was kind of crossed today, right? I'll even add this. You know, I made one of my stories is about a hair, like, it's this Arab girl, and she's making I guess a joke about her ex. Like there's a saying that Arab women have where it's like our ex has 0 girlfriends, our new boyfriend has 10 girlfriends. And so my comment I shared that as my story, and my comment on that was like, oh, I need a harem. And when I'm gonna start moving in because it is starting to rain, and I don't particularly mind the lightning, but I don't want to have to take a bath after this. And so I posted that, you know, with the thing about the harem, and then, you know, again, like, I think our society does dating really stupid. And, like, if people are going to be in serial monogamous relationships, might as well be in, but yet, the idea of a harem is, like, outside of the realm of question, you know what I mean? It's, like, societally abnormal. Doesn't make sense to me. Especially when Jesus comes back. It seems like he has a harem of at least 144,000 virgins. I mean, that's what that seems like to me. So, woo! You know, sealed of the tribes of Israel, right? Ooh, it's cold. Right over my room as I walk by. Interesting. Okay, just real fast. It also seems like people kind of acting like frenemies, right? Like they seem to be friendly, but then they're not. And it's like, well, oh. You know, that's worse than just not engaging me. Okay. Hopefully I can sync these up on that. I'm gonna go inside. I think the lightning's actually coming more north. Yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna continue talking here. To the person who, like, made me feel bad earlier, right? Didn't make me feel good, right? The whole intent seems to me to make me uncomfortable. Do you think this just goes away, right? Like the gravity, this is what I've been saying to everybody. Like, hey, Alessandra, Ambrosio. The gravity of this, I'm pretty sure, just increases, right? Like the weight of I'm probably the guy who is victorious at the 7 churches from the book of Revelation. I'm probably the guy who's Yahweh on the throne, right? Or on the throne of Yahweh with Jesus. And like, it seems like people are specifically trying to make me feel bad and like psychologically abuse me, right? But there's a possibility there could be some friendliness there. I don't know. Like, I almost feel like I'm being tested, but it's not you probably shouldn't be trying to test me, right? Just leave me alone otherwise. Instead of, I guess, over a long period of time, psychologically abusing me, just like harassing me, tormenting me. If you're my friend, be my friend. But if you're not, just leave me alone. You know what I mean? Like, don't do this. At this point, it didn't really go away because I still feel like I'm being watched. But oh man. Oh wow. Standing water. Whoops. Basically just stepped in a big puddle. Oops. So look. Whatever's going on doesn't feel good. You know what I mean? Like, it makes me feel bad. I think it would make anybody feel bad. Right? It doesn't seem right to me. And I want to say make it up to me, but it doesn't feel like it can be made up to me. Especially with what I think happened, like worst case scenario, or is happening, versus like maybe what I can hope for is happening. I think it's, I'm just gonna go with it's probably the worst case scenario, and that people are trying to pretend like they're kind, but they're really just trying to abuse me and like make me feel bad. You're just bad people. Like, anybody would look at you and think it's repugnant who's not a terrible person. But it shouldn't matter, like, it shouldn't take that anybody would look at you and think you're repugnant. Because I think most people, even, honestly, I think our society has a lot of stuff wrong, so it doesn't really matter what a lot of people think. I guess that's the idea of having someone on the throne of Yahweh, that probably what he thinks is more in line with the objective reality. Like, at what point can I just talk to Alessandra Ambrosio, work this out? You know what I'm saying? Like, figure out, like, why are you doing this? Why are you clearly watching me and like signaling at me like you are, but then you're not actually just reaching out and talking? Like, is it because you are Jezebel from Revelation 2? Or is that someone else and you're friendly and helping me? Right? Which one is it? At what point do people think, man, this is worse for everybody that this person has done this? Whoever is Jezebel, whatever they've done, that everybody is suffering more because of it, right? Like, that Yahweh would literally make everybody more uncomfortable because this one lady, and whoever the Nicolaitans are, whatever they're doing, which is it's something that pisses off Yahweh so much, he's literally says he's angry that you forgave that person, or that you're forgiving of that person, that you had to suffer that person, or he rebukes that, and then he personally says he will kill that person, right? And their children, to make an example, right? He'll like throw her on a sick bed, and it's just, whatever it is, it's got to be terrible, and it's got to be something that's being done in public to try to hurt me and make me feel bad, right? So I think Alessandra Ambrosio can answer this, or at least give me some idea as to who it is, if it's not her, because at this point it's within her interest. Say something, right? I mean, I'm just a guy right here, standing here crazy, though it seems like the world reacts, that Yahweh reacts, and I'm guessing it's because people are watching me in a capacity that they shouldn't be, and trying to make some kind of terrible public example out of me, and it's backfiring heavily in your face. I'm guessing that's what's going on, right? So look, I'm gonna be out here for like 2 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go adjust where in fact, I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna adjust where the camera is looking up top, and then I'm gonna go inside. I've been out here for an hour. I was not planning on doing this. All right. I'm gonna leave the GoPro looking that way, and I'm gonna go inside, and then as the GoPro looks that way, I can have this camera looking that way. And though I think everything's coming from that way, so, or passing over, going that way. But whew. Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna put this under. Oh, hey. Can I look at the recording time real fast? Okay. So now you should know exactly in the video where this is. For me, for my own reference. Whew. Almost dropped it.